do a promotional video on the Welsh National. This is section A, the trap pool, and we've got here today Chris Ellis and Pete Evans, two local club members. They're going to tell us a little bit about the pool. So I'm going to show you first the pegs. So we've got the Hope and Anchor pub. These are the pub pegs just here, and then as we pan around you can see the whole lake from up here. You've got the shallows down here. Across the way there is what they call the point pegs. We'll let Chris and Pete tell you a little bit more now. So this is the clubhouse and the car park, and we start off with peg 1 just here, and Chris and his dog is going to take you through pegs 1 to 10. So in the Welsh National, Chris, what pegs are you looking to put on down pegs 1 to 10?
Probably every other
peg.
Every other, starting at 2, 4 metres, it'll be about 5 foot. It gradually slopes off to about 15 foot.
Brilliant. Okay, a lot of the fishing though is up in the water, isn't it?
The fishing is shallow in this sort of area, yeah, especially that time of year. The fish want to be up. It's out and out silverfish, this area.
So Pete's going to take us from peg 11, which is here, to the point peg there, which is 20. Is that right, Pete?
Point peg is 20, yes.
Okay.
It's a good section. What you've got here is you've got 20, maybe 23 feet of water in front of you on the feeder line. But the pole line, you're on 7 or 8 foot. That's
okay.
Where they're doing the business at the moment. Have been all winter.
And I've heard about these pegs 12 and 12A. Apparently these are the flyers. Is that right, Pete?
We don't use them in matches at the moment in the winter because they're just out and out flyers.
Okay.
Solid with F1, small cop, commons and eyed.
Yeah.
Roach, everything. Skimmers. Okay. They just the rest of the pool can't cover. In the summer, it all averages out. They're still good pegs, but they're not necessarily the best pegs on the pool.
Okay, go on.
Pegs 13 to 16, you've got a feeder line where you're into about 16, 18 foot of water.
Okay.
But on the pole line, 7 or 8 feet at 6 or 7 metres, going down to about 14 feet at 8 metres, 9 metres.
Okay. And what these now are, I remember this bit, never used to have these trees here when I was fishing it. This is what you call a point now, isn't it?
This is the point pegs. We start at 16. 16, 17 and 20, good for F1s, roach, perch eyed. Peg 20 is a good peg all year round.
Yeah. So
Draw
peg
a
20.
line from the jetty to peg 20. It slopes away down to 15, 18 feet to my right, and it slopes up from about 7 foot to 3 foot 6 to my left. These are what we call the shallows. All good summer pegs. Deepest point is probably about 9 metres from the bank, where you've got 3 foot, 3 foot 6 depth, and then it goes a little bit shallower. Good prolific pegs in the summer, not too bad in the winter.
Okay.
But October time it'll be fine. All that area. On the end of that tree there, that's where they get all the big lumps.
Yeah.
From that bank there.
Andy Neal will probably be on that peg then, yeah. I would think.
Throws up big doubles every
So
time.
what number's this one, Pete? This is the jetty,
This
yeah?
is peg number 25, the jetty.
Okay.
You've got 7 or 8 foot in front of you, a little bit less to your right, a little bit more to your left.
Okay.
Good options on depth.
And then going round into this bit then, it changes, doesn't it now? In
Starting
terms
to
of...
get deep now.
Yeah.
26, 27. You can reach 16, 15, 16 feet on the pole.
Okay.
And you can catch at that depth. And you'd be looking for bream.
Okay. And
Closer
then
to the tree, you'll get roach on F1s, but bream.
And what about these pegs just across here then? What numbers are them? I'll just pan in on those.
29 to 33 is what we call the sandbank.
Yeah.
In the summer, peg 33, out and out flyer.
Okay.
Again, bream and roach. As you come down this way, it can throw up a weight of skimmers at any of them.
Yeah.
On the pole generally.
And that's what really, like, just to get it across to people, your main sort of quarry is going to be bream and skimmers, isn't it? Yeah. And roach. That's your team plan really on this lake.
If you're lucky enough to get one of the corner pegs,
Yeah.
you go for the F1s.
Yeah,
Where
okay.
at the moment they're really small, they're 2 to the pound,
Right,
but they'll be a bit bigger by October.
and there's loads of them.
And there's about 3,000 went in last year.
Okay. In terms of methods then for the F1s, do you go down the pellet route on here, or?
Pellet, worm, corn,
Yeah, okay.
dead maggots.
Yeah.
Probably worms being
do
the
they-
best this summer.
You know, when regarding, you know, obviously there's a lot of up in the water fishing for your bream, skimmers, roach. Do those F1s have a little go shallow as well? No?
No, very rarely.
Okay,
Very rarely.
all right. They just tend to stick to the shallower water and fish on, you know, you fish on the bottom for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
okay.
with the roach, generally, as typical of most venues, the shallower you get, the bigger the fish are.
Okay,
If you're catching them at 5-6 foot deep, you're getting the mixer sizes. You get them at 2 foot deep, they're all big fish.
sounds good.
Upwards of 6 ounces generally.
Great stuff. So as Pete just explained, this is what they call the sandbank along here, and Chris is now stood on one of the flyers on the lake, peg 33. So tell us a little bit about this one, Chris.
Well, it's got a varying ways and methods to fish. Number one method for myself is deep with ground bait for the bream around 11 metres. You can also catch it shallow, lots of fish shallow here, and that in October, it was a good peg in October, just gone. And if sometimes you can get, it's quite deep here, it's about 14 foot, but it shallows up. If you can see where them tyres are there, there's an island there, and it can shallow up to 4 foot there. It goes from like about 4 metres before it, it's about 7 foot, and it shallows right up.
So that'd be a natural holding spot. What do they tend to do there, Chris? What, feeder, I'm
catch
assuming?
a feeder there.
Yeah.
You can also catch quite big carp on there. There's a lot of the carp anglers putting bait out there, so
Okay.
yeah, there's plenty of fish out there, but mainly your main attack here is pole, deep and shallow. There's
Good
plenty
stuff.
of fish.
And what about, so now moving on to peg 34, Chris.
It really does.
Another good peg, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit inconsistent this at the moment. It really it gets a lot deeper. It's
Okay.
not as prolific as when you were here last, Ben.
I used to like that peg, I
Yeah,
must admit, but it was
it's actually
20 years ago.
It's
So
got a bar that goes out to that island that we were just talking about. It does shallow up on there, so you can get about 10 foot, and there is a bar that goes out all the way to the island. But then as you go around the corner here, it starts to get a lot deeper again. But as we're getting towards a cliff face.
yeah,
But this was a good peg last summer. The F1s were coming off here,
okay.
and some big bream. It was
So that'd be 36, that one, wouldn't it?
yeah, 36. That last year it was good, and I'm expecting it to be good again, to be honest with you.
And Chris, just to explain, there's a little bridge going out onto, I'm assuming that must be peg 38 there, is it? The other side of the bridge.
37.
37, right, okay.
Yeah, 37.
So that one, that looks good peg as well,
Yeah, it's very, very deep.
is it?
Very deep, close
Catch
in.
some shallow there though?
That's how I think you'd have to catch them shallow.
Okay.
It's that deep you could actually fish to hand if you were fishing the bottom there.
Yeah, a little bit too deep, especially
Yeah.
that time of year. Okay, so then we've got this far end. We'll take a walk around there and just finish off
Right,
on
we're
that
on the long
part.
bank now. This starts from peg 38, the long bank, and it's quite shallow. There's a really shallow bar that runs all across there, where you can see them trees on little islands over
Okay.
there, and it's like 2 foot deep there, but it comes down. We've mainly got about 7-8 foot here,
Okay,
and they're quite out of form at the moment. But that time of year, you never know, they can throw up a weight. But there's one peg which we get to see now. And it's a pleasure
that's
having
someone
a look.
fishing. Okay, let's walk down and see what he's had there.
It's peg 42.
42.
This one in the corner here. You right, John? You right, mate? You had any? Up. No. This is peg 42. This is a
Okay.
really good peg. Quite prolific in a lot of the matches. at the moment. It's quite shallow. It's the shallowest one along here. So you've got about four foot there where he's going to be chucking his method feeder, and it's about 5 foot here. You can catch little carp, F1s, eyed, plenty of fish here.
Okay.
Very.
Sounds like a bit of a flyer then, is it?
It is, yeah. It's been quite dominant. It's been dominant.
This is quite a good map of the lake showing the depths. The trap's actually an old clay pit, hence why there's quite a lot of variation in depth, but this certainly gives you an idea. So just tell us a little bit, lads, about the methods that we use on the trap. Obviously it's a deep pit, and what I want to get across to people is the fact that don't let that put you off. A lot of the fishing here is shallow, isn't it?
Yeah. You're targeting skimmers and bream in the summer in October. You're looking at 8 to 14 feet. I wouldn't go any deeper.
Okay.
I wouldn't go shallower. But if you're fishing for roach, I'd start at mid depth and I'd go as shallow as 18 inches.
Yeah.
And feed heavy.
Okay. Casters, maggots.
Casters, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. And in terms of the areas where is there any areas where you'd likely to be fishing on the bottom for bream?
Yeah.
What numbers would they be?
Virtually any peg.
Right, okay.
It really is. You can get skimmers everywhere.
Yeah.
I would say, wouldn't that fair?
Yeah.
And again, that's why the variation, 8 to 14 feet. If you're on most of the pegs, like the sandbank pegs, the rubble pegs, you're looking for about 12 foot, 14 foot. If you're on one of the corner pegs, maybe peg 20, you'll get them at 7 or 8 feet.
Okay. All right, that sounds good.
So on the bottom, hard on.
And then there's just obviously the noted pegs where you might be fishing for F1s and small carp as well.
Yeah. Okay. List them.
Yeah, go on.
I'll go around the pool. Certainly 12, 12A, 16, 17, 20, 21, 23, 25, 42.
Okay.
Maybe 36.
Okay.
There's plenty of them. They spread out well.
Brilliant.
And you get skimmers off all them pegs anyway.
Okay. Peter's just saying that if you go onto the Buckley AA website, there is a more detailed map of the pool with all of the pegs and the depths, so you'll get a much better understanding if you go on there. Day tickets, if you did want to come up and have a practice, what's the score with that, Pete?
Just turn up, pick yourself a peg and fish. One of the bailiffs will come round to you. Just make sure you've got a current rod licence. And it takes £8 a day, and that's for all the hours of daylight. You can use keep nets, but please dip them first. And maximum 2 rods. Double hooks.
The Buckley Angling Club, I mentioned earlier that both members actually speak to the chairman and the treasurer of Buckley AA. They've kindly given us the lake to use in the Welsh National with no peg fees. So again, a big thanks to Buckley AA for providing the pool. So thanks very much for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you all in October. We'll see you then. Thanks a lot.